thought that Villanova had a chance, they're lying to you. There was no way that anybody in this town thought that that team could win that game.
There was definitely a chance because they had been so competitive and they had given Georgetown trouble during the year. People forget about that.
Villanova had played Georgetown basically basket for basket in the prior two games. It was a 52-50 ball game and a 57-50 game. So you're talking about just a couple hoops separating them.
On the eve of April Fool's Day, Raleigh Massimino sprinkled a little extra stardust on his 24-10 team.
In the parking lot of the Ramada Inn in Lexington, Kentucky, Raleigh put in a different defense between the semifinal game and the championship game. They decided that every time Pat gets the ball in the post, we're going to double team him. So we came weak side because Patrick did not turn and reverse the ball to expose the weak side of the defense.
This is the end of the Patrick Ewing era, and after tonight we'll know just how good this Georgetown team is. Only 5 schools have ever won back-to-back NCAA championships.
It was the last Final Four played on a college level where there was just a smaller gym, and it was in Lexington, Kentucky. And you could sort of feel the drama building.
It felt like everybody in the world was rooting for us. Maybe it's because we were just a pure underdog. Maybe it's because of Raleigh. Or maybe it's because there was this percentage of people out there that didn't like Georgetown.
It was kind of that kind of feel that we did have some extra karma going on. Like my first shot with Patrick Ewing coming and I flip it up, somehow it just, boom, goes right in. That was one of those like, hey, I made my first shot. It might be a good night.
Wilbur getting it to Dwayne, who comes inside.
When I threw the pass and he dunked it 2 hands, I think it sent the message that we were here to play. So, you know, you guys better get ready. It's going to be a long night.
Villanova's early offensive success came from its ability to break what many considered the best press in the nation.
They had one guy taking it out and then one guy run off the court and then, you know, just moving the defense around, something that we wasn't accustomed to because they didn't do it all year.
Throughout that game, the backcourt handled the pressure. Because that was the thing against Georgetown. Could you get the ball up court? Can Gary get it past Michael Jackson?
The bottom line in that game, Michael Jackson couldn't guard me. I was talking to him while we were playing. I said, I got you, boy. You mine tonight.
Gary McLean gave that team a little bit of cockiness. He got them going, and he went in and he would challenge the big Georgetown guys.
He almost had the perfect tournament. I mean, in 6 games, he ends up with 7 turnovers and only 2 turnovers in the finals.
He spins to the baseline. The jump is good.
The mystique of Georgetown doesn't exist among Big East teams because they see it all the time. This was the perfect setup. These guys weren't afraid.
Hitting on 13 of 18 from the field, Villanova led 29-28 at the break. As if the Wildcats needed more momentum, they found it after the buzzer when backup center Chuck Everson and Georgetown guard Reggie Williams scuffled.
He got up with his hands and kind of half pushed me and half slapped me in the face and took off running. When we got in the back of Rupp Arena, we had to cross their path, and they were all laughing.
We all kind of rallied around, you know, that, and we went in the locker room and said, we're going to get ourselves together, and we're going to, you know, you use all kinds of psychological warfare.
I've never seen him as animated in that moment. He said, what the hell do they think they are? We're not going to take this crap. Not only are we going to beat these guys, we're going to kick their butts. They thought for sure they'll get us in the second half and it'll be over. That's how confident they were.
We go against teams that sometimes break the press in the first half. We're thinking it's just a matter of time that, you know, they miss a shot or turn the ball over, but it never came.
Pinckney goes on Ewing. The shot is up good, and he's fouled.
It seemed like the Georgetown players were sort of like, what's going on here? You know, this can't be happening. I mean, they're making every shot.
Gary wide open. Good jump. Good.
Jensen trying a 20-footer. Got it.
It's called a zone. Usually one player gets in it. We had a whole team in it.
Dwayne to Pinckney at the foul line. He's into the lane. His shot is good.
We only shot the ball 10 times in the second half. 10 times. And we made 9.
Jensen, long jump. Good. The Cats by 1.
I knew that they'd have to play a perfect game in order to beat us. And they did. So I just figured they made a deal with the devil.
That's it. It's 66-59.
still a hard pill to swallow. Whenever I'm watching ESPN Classic and it comes on, I turn the TV off.
Ewing's 14 points and 5 rebounds were eclipsed by Ed Pinckney's 16 points and 6 boards. But more important, Villanova hit 79% of its field goal attempts, a Final Four record.
Dwayne McClain and Eddie Pinckney run over to the scores table. They're jumping up and down and they're screaming at the top of their lungs, "April Fools, April Fools." You know what? They're right. They fooled everybody.
It's really a pleasure to be the national champion of the nation!
When you look at the greatest upsets, you'll see Villanova and Georgetown. Can't deny the game. They lost, we won. It's a great story.